So with the NBA coming back, there are going to be some new rule changes to the league and how things are constructed, especially considering that we are going to be in the playoffs. Now, if I'm being honest with you guys, I love the NBA, but there are some things that really don't make a lot of sense about this. Primarily the teams that they've invited to play in this little play-in for the 8th seed. Because think about it, the fact that the Suns are getting a legit play-in for the 8th seed, even though technically they can actually get in, is really weird. But before we get into all of that, make sure you drop a like, comment your opinions, and hit the subscribe button. And stay tuned for more content by hitting that notification bell. But without further ado, let's look at what the NBA is doing pending its return. The NBA is going to be inviting 22 teams to Orlando. There are going to be 13 Western Conference teams, 9 Eastern Conference, 8 regular season games per team, a play-in for the 8 seeds. It's going to be from July 31st to October 12th, and the vote has just been confirmed. So basically, the NBA is back, and here we are with the rules. Now, honestly, when it comes to the top 7 seeds making it in the West, I honestly am cool with that. But as far as this whole 8 to 13 seed, I gotta be honest with you, that kind of sucks for a team like the Memphis Grizzlies and kind of the Portland Trail Blazers. But honestly, I think it's more so for the Grizzlies because they had a considerably better record than a lot of the other teams in the Western Conference. I think you could really reduce this risk of COVID if you had just simply allowed all the teams in the top 8 from both conferences just be put in the playoffs and resume from there. But I guess the league has a lot of money that they need to compensate, so milking just 8 games from the regular season, I guess that's cool, and considering they're all going to be playing each other, there is some fairness to it. But if we're being honest here, the Suns are not going to make the playoffs. And if they do make it and somehow upset a team or two, a lot of people are going to look at this playoffs and say there's no credibility here. Because if we're being honest here, no one would have thought they would have made it if the season had continued and there was no COVID. So to see them make it potentially and maybe even upset a team, I really wonder what the reaction is going to be. Now, me personally, I would enjoy any type of upset no matter what the fashion is, but I just don't want people to put an asterisk on this championship. And trust me, we will get to this whole asterisk nonsense at the end. But as far as the whole rule setup, other than that, I don't really have an issue with it. Now, honestly, seeing the Wizards a part of all of this is just ridiculous. It's even crazy that the fact that the Eastern Conference has 2 teams in the playoffs right now with losing records, that should be enough for the East. But the fact that they have another team with 40 losses already. This team was 1 game away from being bona fide 500. And the fact that the NBA is allowing them to play, like, come on now. At that rate, you might as well have allowed the Hornets and the Bulls, considering that they're only 2-3 games away from them. And then what about the Knicks, right? Since it's so possible for all these teams to get in, I mean, it's ridiculous the fact that they're letting the Wizards in, but I guess because of the fact that there's only going to be 8 games left, it'll be mathematically impossible for the other teams. But regardless, a team with 40 losses, that's ridiculous. I'm sorry, it is completely absurd and ridiculous. But honestly, like I said, other than those, I don't really have a huge issue with it. Now, let's talk about if these rules are fair. Honestly, I gotta be real with you guys. There are some things about it that I'm not cool with, especially considering we're not going to have fans. But let's just be honest, we don't know when things are going to go back to normal. So not having fans in the crowd and everything, it's not that big of a deal, especially considering this may be the new norm, at least until this COVID stuff is dealt with in a good fashion. So if this is going to be the new norm, you might as well deal with it and keep it pushing. But as far as if there's going to be an asterisk, guys, I'm sorry, but the way people are talking and the way some of the media members are even talking as well, it really makes me think that people are going to put an asterisk on the NBA season, which sucks because it shouldn't be like that, but that's what people are going to do. And the reason that it shouldn't be like that is because everybody has gone through the same circumstances, but yet everybody is going to be held to a lesser standard. I personally think that's ridiculous. And for all the people saying, oh, but what if like the Suns got hot or something and they went on to potentially win the championship? Well, if you're the Lakers or the Clippers and you can't beat the Suns, then you don't deserve to win the championship. That's all I gotta say. If you are a top player in the NBA, it is your responsibility to be in the right shape at the right times. It's only been about 2 months since the NBA has been canceled, and they're giving you a notice till July 31st. So as far as being in shape is concerned, yeah, you should be good, because if you're not, then that means you did more damage than you could recover in the first place. And who's that on? That's on you, because you should have the intuition and just the common sense that the NBA could have returned in the first place. So for you to get that out of shape, yeah, there's no one that you can point the finger at than yourself. And as far as this whole asterisk thing goes, guys, let me just address this also, because I think the one issue that's really concerning me is that throughout history, I'm scared how people are going to look at this championship. Because let's say a top team wins and a player plays really well. For example, the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard gets finals MVP on some crazy run and puts up monster numbers. People are going to belittle it or look at it and say, man, it's cool that he did all of that, but that's the year that the COVID stuff happened. That is ridiculous, and it's going to be absurd. And it sucks because I feel like that's what people are going to do. Is it fair to do that to Kawhi Leonard? Let's say he went back to back and people start to discredit it because of the circumstances. It really blows my mind, but honestly, those are just the way things are, and that's how people are going to react. And it sucks, but that's just the unfortunate reality. And the fact that there are going to be no crowds and they're suggesting putting 2K crowds, please, I beg of you, do not do that, because that is just ridiculous. It already sucks that we don't have crowds, but to add that garbage crowd noise in the back and all those David Aldridge sounds, yeah, please. I'm just begging the NBA not to do that, because that would just make people not want to watch. I might not even watch some of those games because that just sounds disgusting and cringeworthy. I suggest that they just get some music deal and play some Drake or Kanye or Jay-Z, something in the background while we're watching, or at least something that's entertaining enough for us to be still engaged to it. And I wonder what the viewership is going to look like as well, especially considering that the NFL is going to be having their season going on at the same time. Now, I know the NFL is bigger than the NBA, but I do wonder if fans are going to watch, or at least people all over America are going to watch the NBA Finals, where it's potentially the Lakers and the Bucks, or the Clippers and the Bucks, or whoever it is, LeBron James versus Giannis, or some Monday night football game with Tom Brady versus, I don't know, Lamar Jackson. It's really interesting to see how things are going to be. And we all know football is the most dominant sport in America, but it is going to be very interesting to see what the ratings look like, especially with them competing. And now the schedules have been changed, because people forget that the season is also going to start again around October, with the draft and all of that taking place in between. So yeah, that is going to be a very, very interesting scenario, with basketball and football forever intertwined if they don't ever fix the schedules. Because let's say they go with this schedule change forever or for the indefinite future, then that means football and basketball is going to be happening at the same time, especially the playoffs and the finals. Guys, this is really weird. This is so weird. We're going to be seeing basketball at the weirdest times of the year. Honestly, that's how it's going to be. So get ready for that. But as far as the NBA coming back, y'all know I am happy about that. Gives me more stuff to talk about. And also, it's the NBA. Who is not happy about the NBA coming back? Because I surely am, as you guys can tell by my tone right now. But you guys make sure you hit that like button and comment your opinions down below. I would love to know what you guys thought about this. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that bell to be notified after each and every single video we post. It's your boy David from NBA Knowledge. Y'all stay safe, wash your hands, and be blessed. I'm out. Peace.